We are the eight. We are united. We are the eight.
A warm welcome, Highlanders, to the first episode of the Northeast United FC podcast. I'm Abhik Chatterjee, a show that will attempt to get you closer to the club and the players you love. To start off proceedings, we have the club owner John Abraham with us. As an owner, John, going into the second edition of the Hero Indian Super League, how much more excited are you?
I would look at this as technically the first season of the Indian Super League because what was the first season was actually a learning curve for a lot of us. And, we did make, to be fair, we did make a lot of mistakes. We learned a lot. There were a lot of don'ts that, or a lot of knots that we've tried to tick off and make as positives. And I think to be very fair and honest, we've really tried to correct that, starting with our internal structure back in the organization. We've actually sent out the right noises. We've spoken the right things. We've interacted with our audience on a more regular basis. We've been extremely interactive. As far as our structure goes, we're a lean organization, we're a lean team, and we prefer to keep it that way because we're most effective that way. Somewhere in my head as an owner, I've always wanted a team that's attractive, that plays attacking football, that entertains probably the best audience and crowd in the league, that's Northeast. And I say this in all honesty, we have the best crowds in the league by light years. And when you have such great crowds that are so entertaining, you need football out there that's really entertaining. And as an owner, I believe that the South American style of football is always probably the most entertaining to watch because there's a lot of small passes, there's a lot of talent out there, there's a lot of flair, and Cesar would bring that to the team.
Now, we know and we see how hands-on you are with the entire team, how you talk to each and every one of us and how you make sure you're aware about everything that's going on. You also have a business background. So how do you see the entire ISL as, say, an entity in terms of the football that's being played, in terms of the business model that's in place? How do you view this entire creation of the ISL as something that can help Indian football in the future?
Well, we all know that the ISL is the fourth most attended league in the world. We also know that the ISL is the fourth most watched league in the world in terms of sheer TRPs. And let's be honest, it's also because of sheer population. We have a population of 1.2 billion. And when you beam a football game across 5 languages, across the entire subcontinent, you are going to get those kind of viewerships. I'm sure we're all going to learn. Star Sports is going to make sure that it increases not only the TRPs but the GRPs of the telecast of football in this country. IMG is going to correct a lot of what it went wrong with last year. And Reliance has taken it upon itself to make sure that football is the new cricket in India. So I think amongst the three of them, they're gonna make sure that there's a lot more that happens for the ISL in the country. My personal opinion is that there is going to be a point of time when this is, let me be very clear, this is my view, and I could be completely wrong, but this is the way I look at it. This is the way I look at the trajectory of Indian football. I believe that the I-League will finally merge with the ISL at some point of time, maybe 3, 4, 5 seasons down the line. So I just feel that's one of the things that's going to happen. The other thing that's going to happen is there will be 2 or 3 more teams that will enter the ISL. That means that the 3-month window that we're looking at for games that are being played would become 4 months. I hope, and my dream would be to have an 8-month league like, the EPL or the La Liga or the Serie A or this, I'd like to see a full-fledged league. But at this point of time, we have to be cognizant of the fact that cricket does rule this country. Football is a very strong second. Football works within a 15 to 24 target group. And we need to grow the sport amongst the masses, which is exactly what we're trying to do. Rome wasn't built in a day. Football's not going to get popular in a day. And we will make sure that when the ISL becomes popular completely and clearly across the country, that Northeast United will be the Barcelona of India.
As an actor, you travel a lot and you mingle with a lot of diverse people. So, what are the sort of questions that they ask you about Northeast United FC?
Let me assure you, the entire country is, and this could be a guy from Bombay, a guy from Delhi, Pune, Chennai, you name the place, everybody is very thankful that someone has supported the region of the Northeast. And, last season we had 5 chief ministers who came for our games. This year, we want all the 8 chief ministers to attend all our 7 games. Besides that, we also want our Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, to come for the games because he's concentrating on the Northeast. We believe that the perception that people have of the Northeast and Northeast United FC as a team is either if you belong to the Northeast, it's very pro Northeast, and if you don't belong to the Northeast, say for example Mumbai or Delhi, it's very neutral. But no one hates the Northeast. The Northeast has got that special quality where people just seem to love this region. And there's an innocence about the region, there's an innocence about the people, an innocence about the players, and the way we're approaching the game, and the honesty with which our team is approaching the game, that comes across very vividly to the rest of the ISL, to the rest of the other teams, the rest of the people who are watching it. And we're very proud of the fact that we've kept our ideology in place. We want to propagate football in the Northeast. We want to propagate grassroots in the Northeast. And we want to build our own stars in the Northeast. And people see that very, very clearly with what we're doing.